You're watching the FIBA Women's AmeriCup 2025. It is it's not semi-final day for some of these teams, but we've got Puerto Rico and Mexico coming up here. If you're looking at the standings right now, this is a classification game. The winner, this is actually a really big game. Kelsey Wright Johnson, Amy Audibert here. The winner will go on to play Colombia, and they will automatically get the berth into the qualification spot for the World Cup qualifiers. The loser of this game is out of the running in contention, and so really, really high stakes here, as not only did these two teams play each other last AmeriCup in group phase in 2023, but in group phase right here just 4 days ago, Puerto Rico took that one 77-60, a wire-to-wire win for Puerto Rico. And now the winner of this game will go on to play Colombia. The loser will go on to play the Dominican Republic tomorrow. One has that automatic berth into the World Cup qualifiers, and one will be out of contention. First up, we'll get a look at Puerto Rico. As I said, the winners of the matchup in group phase between these two teams. And Puerto Rico has shown some incredible toughness in a lot of their games heading into this one. Their world ranking is 12 right now, and they made their way into this one with a loss to Argentina just yesterday, a 2-point loss.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if you see some of these girls just walking a little gingerly to get things started on their day, it was by far the most physical basketball game I've seen in a really long time. It was a 2-point game, but the entire game, either team could make a shot, but the physicality was all the way up, and Puerto Rico was so disappointed with that loss. Obviously, that would have put them into the semifinal. And this is a day game. This is not the next night. So they had the last game of the night yesterday and the second today. They got to get their bodies warmed up and ready to play, but then outside of that, shoulders up. You got to get your head ready to play in a game like this too, because it can be pretty devastating the way it finished off for them last night. But to your point, Kelsey, you said it, this is a huge game with the winner guaranteeing a ticket in that pre-qualifying tournament next spring.
And we'll take a look at the team that stands in Puerto Rico's way now, and that is Team Mexico. And they've had some shining moments in this tournament, including their game yesterday. They lost that one to Brazil to send them here. That one was 84-61, but Amy, the score of that game doesn't tell the story of the game. And that first quarter, they were held to just 9 points, but they ended up tying the game up with Team Brazil, the reigning champs, the favorites in this tournament, in the third quarter. Just couldn't hold on in that fourth. But Mexico, a really young team, and had a lot of recent success as they continue to build momentum for this federation, and they're going to give Puerto Rico a run for their money.
By far their best showing against one of the, if not the best team in the tournament, and so that was something to be proud of. And focusing not on the L and the result of the L, but just the inner focus. I know the coaching staff was proud of the fight and execution their team showed, and can they do that 2 more times, but 1 more time right now today? That's the question.
Yeah, this is the game that matters the most. Like we said, the winner of this one goes on to the pre-qualifiers. The loser is eliminated from that, whereas tomorrow's game, once you've won that one already, you're already in. So we'll take a quick break now and get a chance to listen to both national anthems of Mexico and Puerto Rico. the teams meeting at half court as they exchange small gifts from their country. And again, like I said, you got two teams that are very familiar with each other as they played each other just 4 days ago in group play. And Amy, last game versus each other 4 days ago was Puerto Rico, who got off to the hot start with 32 points in Q1, and Mexico just really couldn't recover. As we take a look at the third team here today is the referees, Uruguay, Brazil, Chile, and these gentlemen here on the big stage have done such a good job throughout the entire tournament. Kudos to them. Puerto Rico in that last game, Amy, shot 57% from two-point range, so it's going to be Mexico's defense that's going to have to dig deep.
At number 22, right down the middle, Aurelia Garantes had 31 points, 31 of her team, 77. She's a tough match, strong, physical, quick. Mexico will have to find some adjustments. 30-point night is tough.
Take a look at Coach Batista for Puerto Rico. And then we'll head over to Team Mexico. The starting lineup for Team Mexico includes what I've dubbed as the big three who lead the way in this one. In that last game, it was Claudia Ramos, as well as Gabriela Jaquez. Gabriela will make the start today. She had 15 points in the last matchup between these two.
Just came out really aggressive in their quarterfinal matchup as well in that Brazilian loss, but I thought her team really leaned on her at some key moments, and you get a look at their head coach, Des Abeda.
As an athlete, you get the opportunity in a tournament like this to beat a team who already beat you. We're going to get that opportunity twice, today and tomorrow. Today we beat Puerto Rico, tomorrow we beat Colombia, okay? Focused and 40 minutes of togetherness. To start for us, one, tandem, got it? Transition defense. Make sure we really emphasize shutting down that right hand. Team defense against 22. We should always be talking about her and get the boards. Offensively, we're in 5. Drive, big drive. Let's go, baby! Mexico!
You ready to go put on your Mexican jersey? That made me want to play.
Right.
You know, you get these opportunities to get teams that just beat you, and clearly a lot of game planning against number 22.
Well, yeah, you heard her there. Aurelia Garantes averaging 17 points a game coming into this one. She's the second leading scorer in this tournament. She's also averaging 6 rebounds and 2 assists, so dangerous on both sides of the court. As you take a look at Gabriela Jaquez here, she's going to have a big game for Team Mexico going up against the leading scorer for Puerto Rico here in Garantes. As we get set for tip-off, you're watching Mexico taking on Puerto Rico here at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup. A big game with a lot of implications. Kelsey Ray Johnson and Amy Audibert bringing you the action. Puerto Rico in the red jerseys. It's Mexico in white. Puerto Rico takes the first shot, no good. Pulled down by Lara. Ramirez, the handoff. Is Jaquez with the backdoor cut there because she's being guarded real close from the three-point line. A good three-point shooter in herself, and it just a little bit too far out of her reach. It's going to be Puerto Rico looks to take advantage of those turnovers. Garantes. Jones now up to San Antonio. She drives. A really spaced out offense gets Puerto Rico an open three-point look. It's just off the mark. Lara with her second board. There's Jaquez. Slices through that defense. Can't connect, and still scoreless in this one as San Antonio in the fast break goes up off the glass, and there's the first bucket of the game.
But music to my ears, Kelsey. Both teams talking on defense. You're hearing, you feel the energy. It's just a nice start to see from both sides.
Jaquez can't get that pass. And that's another turnover for Team Mexico.
Coach of Beta kind of has a face like, what was that, guys? Just go get the ball.
Yeah, Mexico early in this one, only a minute and a bit in, already 2 turnovers. And, you know, it's actually Puerto Rico who's averaging more turnovers, 14 per game. Mexico stole the ball 9 times from them, scored 22 points off turnovers in that last one. So a little bit of a flip-flop. Durantes sees the shot clock, pulls up from deep. No good.
Certainly felt like a quick shot clock. And that's what Durantes is also saying. Listen, I've been here already, and we've been here all morning. It did for us too.
Jaquez grabs the O board, kicks it out. Now Lara looking to work Pagan. Can't connect, gets her own rebound, but it won't matter as she's fouled, and now she'll go to the line for, or I'm sorry, it's a rebound. Oh, no, it is.
Yeah.
The refs are psyching me out, so that's going to be 2 shots.
No, they're set. No, it was on the rebound. Oh, I think there's a miscommunication here between the officials.
One ref is saying shots, one is saying on the ground, so we'll see when they come together.
Okay, and Lara's like standing firm at the free throw line with her hands up like, give me the ball, please. I'd like to take these free throws. But Coach Abeda was calling zipper, so we're all set.
Miriam Lara is coming into this one, averaging 3 points and 4 rebounds. She played a really big role in the game yesterday against Brazil, which got her team here when Valenzuela, who will check in eventually, got into early foul trouble. Here's Hollingshed from the 45. Too strong. San Antonio rips it out of the sky, but Lara's there. Rips it out of her hands. Now Jaquez in the fast break. Pulls it back. Kicks it out. And now there's a Mexican bucket. Alexia Lagunas.
And now Mexico can get back and set up their zone defense. Puerto Rico really hasn't been touching the paint too much, settling for some outside threes around the zone. Those are absolutely going to be there. Are they the ones you want?
Pagan, a little mid-range jumper as she finds open space. Mexico slowing things down. Ramos off the glass. Lara with another rebound. No good, and now it's a tie-up under the basket, and Lara has been a force to be reckoned with early in this game. Give her 4 rebounds already and 2 of the team's 4 points.
It's close to her average on the tournament, so yes, opportunity arises. She's going and grabbing the Molten. But Mexico, yesterday and even today, they just look like different. Looks like they've caught some fire and spark, right? Maybe settling in a younger team, average age of 24. Maybe it took them a couple games to really come together.
Jaquez saved by the whistle on that one. It's going to be another foul on Team Puerto Rico. This time, I'm sure of it, Amy. They're going to get this one on the baseline.
And I bet they're going to call zipper. I'm just kidding.
They find Lara down low. Lara wheeling, no good. Blocked there by Pagan. Durantes kicks to the corner. Brianna Jones from 3. Pulled down by Pagan and Jaquez. They tie it up once again, and that's this time going to stay with Mexico as Valenzuela checks back in, or not back into the game. She checks into the game, as does Anissa Jeffries. And Mexico's so interesting, Amy, because 2 of their leading scorers come from the bench. And so you kind of get an interesting matchup when you bring your reserves in against some of the starters here for Puerto Rico.
It's an energy surge too, and I always love when your 6th, 7th players provide that type of game for you.
Durantes drives baseline. Lots of contact there. She tries to connect from the mid-range, and now she'll head to the charity stripe.
Yeah, the perfect example of when you talk about someone is strong but explosive, knows how to use her body. So on that step, got in front of Jaquez just enough. Almost completed the and one, and well, let's say about 20 hours ago, she was out there in that tough Argentina game, played 30 minutes, had 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and had to work for every single thing. And so this is the toughness required to be an elite athlete, and it's physical, but it sure is mental too.
Here's Mexico. I mean, a little bit of a mental error on that one, the pass. Not able to reach Gonzalez in the corner, knocked away by Melendez. It'll be Mexico ball. 10 seconds now on the shot clock as they take it on the baseline. Stolen by San Antonio on the inbounds. Great defense there by Puerto Rico as they look to extend the lead. San Antonio to Benitez. Benitez has been hot this tournament from 3. That time off the mark. Looking for the ref to call something, but gets back on D as Jaquez gets down the lane. A lot of spin moves there. Benitez pulls down that rebound from the sky. Here's Melendez now off the bench, kicks it to Benitez. She's gonna wait for Guirantes. Guirantes up, blocked by Anissa Jeffries. An offensive rebound for Puerto Rico, knocked out of her hands by Valenzuela. Gonzalez. Up to Ramirez, Ramirez. To Valenzuela, Valenzuela. And that is the kind of spark, that energy surge, Amy, you talked about from the French she brings.
And that's the luxury of having a pick and pop option. Instead of just diving to the rim, stay spaced out to the corner, confident knockdown shooter.
Guirantes will always be an option for Puerto Rico, that time not connecting. But like I said, the second leading scorer in the tournament so far. As Jeffries loses it, but regains the possession. Back out to Ramirez. Ramirez puts it up. You talked about a physical game in yesterday's game with Puerto Rico and Argentina, but look at this one.
Yeah, these post group play games, if you will, there's definitely a different level, different tone, right? When you get out of that group phase and now you're in the quarterfinals, even a game like this, where you're looking at rankings and moving forward, classification games, physicality kind of jumps up a little bit. It's been interesting to see how some of the younger teams have handled that, and the more experienced teams going, all right, now we get to kick it up a notch.
Yeah, right? Hazel Ramirez has experience. She was in that 2023 AmeriCup. She averaged only 2.5 points per game, so really upped her game here today with 11 points per game. She's actually 11th, tied for 11th in scoring, leading scoring for this entire tournament. Mexico brings it back. Anissa Jeffries likes what she sees. And now both bigs who have come off the bench have hit a 3 for Mexico. They take the lead by 6. As Benitez hits the deck, but it's gonna stay with the red team.
Having a little bit of fun too is Jeffries. Puerto Rico has been content with just taking shots against the zone, and maybe they draw something up to get a bit more movement.
And we'll get a chance to see what they draw up as we eavesdrop into the timeout of Puerto Rico.
It's about you. If you don't run the fucking plays, that's going to happen. If you keep passing the ball and making one shot, that's going to happen. You have to call the plays. You have to move the ball, and you have to get a good shot every single fucking time. This is what they do. One player here, one player there. They're in 2. That's what they're doing. They move to 2 right away. So if you're going to go shallow, like this, shallow like this, right? You have to go to 45. This player has to go here, and you have to watch this player come. If not, swing the fucking ball to the other side. Pass the ball, open up, and keep moving. Only fucking 3-pointer.
Coach is just frustrated with the lack of execution offensively. And listen, zone defenses, they can be tough. Credit to Mexico as you get a look at their offense. But to me, Mexico's zone defense, they've been playing it well. They're active, they're loud. But when you go against the zone defense, how do you win your, like, what do you want to do? How do you, it's about imposing your will. And just looking at this Puerto Rican team and the way they've started and what we've seen from them, we know they're capable of imposing their will more than they're showing. And so not as much basketball in that timeout, more about, like, let's get it together, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, Puerto Rico 2 for 10 from the field right now. As Heel fouls Llorentes up top, but again, kind of just saved by the whistle on that one for Puerto Rico, as the clock was running down and Mexico was all over them. They're not in the zone anymore, and they're guarding very closely, putting a lot of pressure on offense as Benitez gets her defender off the ground. The easy bucket for Benitez. Now here's Jeffries, drives down the middle, Euro step off the glass, no good. Puerto Rico in the open court. Here's Tyra Melendez off the glass. Coach has got to be happy now.
Yeah, and they're just getting to the rim. They're just playing with pace. A little bit of a wake-up call there in the timeout. And now they're settled into a zone here.
Ramirez looking to break that zone. They try and dish it into Jaquez. A little tie-up down low. Valenzuela, comes down with it, but Benitez with the steal. Pamela Rosado, no good. Keeps it alive as Melendez. She goes up on the left-hand side, no good. It's tipped by everybody out there, but Heel is the one who gains possession. She kicks it inside to Ramirez. Ramirez with the and one. What a finish.
And a lot of bench energy, helter-skelter. Who wins the 50-50 balls? Who maintains poise? And Mexico won most of the battles in that possession. Running right down the middle in transition, always a good option. 1 through 5.
Carla Martinez completes the three-point play. Puerto Rico, as we mentioned, struggling to find offense right now. 9 points in the quarter. Rosado skips to Melendez, drives baseline up to Benitez. Back up to Rosado. Rosado from 3. Just rims out, knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico had a tough shooting night last night. 7 for 30 from the field for 24%. They'd been averaging 38% from the field through group play, so they just did not shoot the ball well.
Here's Benitez. To Llorentes. Llorentes, 5 seconds on the clock. Gets the offensive rebound, and she's fouled.
A tough, aggressive play, and so many times Puerto Rico has that option just to get the ball in her hands and let her work, give her space to operate. Really, really nice on baseline takes. Not a whole lot of room for error when you're attacking the baseline, but because she's so strong, she can maintain her balance and her position.
Llorentes makes that one count. And she's one of the players in this tournament with WNBA experience. She was drafted in 2021 and has played on the Spark. She was actually just in training camp with the Seattle Storm earlier this year. On the other end, Valenzuela has woken up. 2 3-pointers in the first quarter to really, really kickstart the offense here for Mexico, and pivotal on the defensive end there. She's the anchor of this zone defense that's been giving Puerto Rico trouble. Here's San Antonio from the 45. There's the answer for Puerto Rico.
just take a deep breath on that zone offense, and that was lovely. You get it inside to that kill box and let your big post make a read.
Here's Ramos. Lost her dribble there and then lost possession. San Antonio up to Rosado. Rosado, she's fouled by Heel, and Heel does not like that call, asking her coach for the review. Get another look at that.
Yeah, it looks like maybe she got her from behind a little bit, and never so. Just a little bit's all it takes. That would have been a kiss on the cheek last night. So Puerto Rico's going, oh, cool, we'll take the free throws.
Pamela Rosado, you see on the charity stripe there, 39 years old. When we talk about experience, she has played in the Olympics, she's played in Centro Basket, she's played professional all over the world, and a really good extension of the coaching staff on the court for Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico with the pressure defense forces the turnover. Martinez loses possession. Now in the front court for Puerto Rico. Just 9 seconds on the clock. Rosado. Knocked out of bounds there by Mexican defense, and just under 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. Rosado drives, pulls up from the free throw line. Off the mark, it's knocked out of bounds there by Brianna Jones. It'll go back Mexican possession. Just over a minute left to go in this first.
Consecutive turnovers from Mexico on the offensive end, and so this is where you just want one good clean set. Get a look at the goal.
Ramos caught it, no good. Now Puerto Rico coming back. Puerto Rico swings. Rosado to the corner. Jones, skip pass to Benitez. Back up top, San Antonio. Benitez, a deep three, off the mark, scooped up by Valenzuela. Ramirez setting her teammates up. The horn action to Valenzuela, gets her open. Her third three of the first quarter, and Mariana Valenzuela having herself a morning.
Yeah, I mean, listen, hands down, Mandel, right? There's just not much contest. I have a great option on offense. Give her the ball. Give her the ball from long range.
Benitez over to San Antonio. Skips up, but it's stolen by Gonzalez. Gonzalez loses control, gets it to Valenzuela. And look at this, Amy. Not only can she do it from the three, but a tough move to the bucket is gonna be rewarded now with a trip to the line.
It's nice to see a player like Valenzuela, number one, look good, like feel good, hitting shots from long range, but then also getting those touches, because she's often setting screens. She's often boxing out the big players down low, and so we've seen it all week how she's had to really sacrifice her body, and sometimes that comes with sacrificing touches on the other end. You're so busy helping your other teammates get freed up, and so in this one, she's getting the rock in her hands, she's coming through big.
That's the end of the first quarter. Mexico leads the way 22-15 over Team Puerto Rico. And the story of the first quarter for Mexico has been Mariana Valenzuela with 11 points, including 3 threes from deep.
Yeah, you look at Puerto Rico, 1 for 11 from long range, and that's been a tough story, and I know Coach was not happy with their shot profile early. They certainly have gotten more aggressive downhill, which has helped. Some of the best plays here from the first quarter early on. That's that nice baseline jumper. One of the first shots that was inside the arc for Puerto Rico. And against the zone, just working the ball around and finding some different options. Mexico, definitely the aggressor. That's the first one right there in front of your home bench. Ball side Sun stays, a little bit of an error maybe from Puerto Rico. Didn't contest a shooter, but in the last meeting, Valenzuela is 1 for 3 from long range. And already, of course, way outside of that.
I'd be happy if I was Mexican, if I was the Mexican team here as well, as Melendez, who rolled her ankle in group play, looks 100% fine now as she takes it to the hoop.
That was just a nice paint touch against the zone, kick out to San Antonio on the, that was the 1-3 from Puerto Rico, right there.
You see the QR code in the bottom of your screen. Make sure you scan that, download the Courtside 1891 app. You can watch live streams like this, you can get extended highlights and stay up to date with the world of international basketball. And I mean, today and tomorrow, the basketball is gonna be real good as we get back, or we get down to the medal games. And so you'll wanna stay up to date with that one.
Well, Mexico hasn't finished higher than 6 in the last 5 FIBA AmeriCups. And so a win today and a win tomorrow would put them in number 5. And that would be, I think, a huge feat for this Mexican team.
Yeah, and they just continue to build momentum from that 4th place finish at last year's World Cup qualifier and the 3rd finish at last year's Central Bucket Women's Championship. And you can tell they're really starting to gel. Even you said it, in this tournament, they've gotten better and better, and a really strong team and really strong play in this first quarter. As Gonzalez drives, dishes from the corner, just a bit short, tap it out, but it's Melendez who's able to scoop it up. Gurantes now, 1 against 2, kicks it out. Hollingshed back to Gurantes. Gurantes back up top. San Antonio looking to reset the offense as Hollingshed has the one-on-one against Valenzuela. Can't connect, and another rebound for Mariana Valenzuela. Mexico drives a one-on-one opportunity, but look who's there. What a dive by Valenzuela. She's doing it all today.
Moving with the ball, without the ball in her hands and being rewarded. That weak side dive is usually a great option.
Hollingshed off 1 foot, casually puts that one in, and she's another very important piece to this Puerto Rican offense who's been quiet in the first quarter.
She has the length advantage in that matchup, and oh, cash money.
Yeah, and I mean, the advantage for Mexico is that Mariana Valenzuela is hot, hot, hot from everywhere on the floor right now. She's gonna lead all scorers with 16 points, 100% from the field. And a tie up there. You said it, sometimes when your defense is rolling, that goes right into your offense, fuels you, and we have a couple substitutions in for Team Mexico, and you hope that that fire can continue to burn for them from this defensive end. It is a jump ball, it's gonna stay with Puerto Rico, only 12 seconds now on the shot clock.
And Valenzuela not coming out of the game. When you're hot like this, you're staying out there. Keep shooting.
Here's Pagan to San Antonio. They find Gurantes, a long 2 foot on the line. Gonzalez kicks it out. That one rolls around, but the offensive rebound goes for Mexico. There's going to be a foul called on the floor. I think that one will go against India Pagan. On the floor, it'll be 14 seconds on the shot clock. Mexico on the baseline.
Hawkes is a great rebounder. When you look at her numbers, you know, she's averaging 6. She doesn't look necessarily big, but she wins those battles. I mean, she was surrounded by 3 red jerseys and comes up with the play there.
Now she's got possession up top. Jaquez drives right down the middle, spin move. Goes for the second spin move, retains possession, able to get it up, just rims out, and it's cleaned up now by San Antonio. Kicks it up to Velez. Velez off the mark, Pagan, a one-handed rebound, not strong enough for Team Mexico. Ramirez on the move to Jaquez, pulls up for the transition three, and it's good. Mexico.
Coach is loving it. Coach is loving it.
I want to be this Mexican coach right now. This is fun for her. 6 for 9 from the three-point line as Team Mexico. She looks to defend Puerto Rico. Gurez, a lot of physicality there, and Jaquez is going to be called for a little bit too much physicality.
Yeah, just wasn't quite set for a closeout, but what a tough drive from Melendez, who continued to play through the whistle. Maybe a little extra contact. Look at the feet in transition. That looks like a rush shot. That's a comfort zone shot, because at UCLA, that's a big part of her role where she'll be returning again, getting up and down and hitting some outside shots. And so that's the pace in which she's probably expected to practice with on a daily basis. And it looks like that Puerto Rico is saying there was a little extracurricular after the whistle.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see a replay of this, and I think what we're going to see is Melendez drives. That foul is initially called on Jaquez up at the three-point line, and as she continues her momentum, she's met with Mariana Valenzuela there down low, and I mean, it's a big body to run into. So looks like the referees are meeting at the foul line to discuss what they saw and see if it is going to need to have a review and an upgrade if necessary.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Officials aren't going over to the monitors.
Yeah, you see crew chief here, Andreas Mena from Uruguay, is having a discussion with Team Puerto Rico, and just now
Gonna take the challenge. You're forcing the challenge, though. We're not looking at ourselves, but the coach is going to take a challenge.
I think one of the coolest parts of this broadcast, other than Amy and I, of course, are that we get to listen in on the referees as they take a look at the screen. So let's eavesdrop on what they see and the discussion.
Okay, this is a head coach challenge for the red team. We're going to review a possible act of violence after the call. Give me the main camera, please. This is the foul, and this is the contact. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, we have the initial foul to white 11.
Yep.
And after that, we have unnecessary contact with the 6 white. Yeah. It's excessive and hard contact after the whistle on the face.
On the face, yeah.
All right. We have, for my perspective, that is a sportsmanlike foul.
Okay.
You confirm?
Yeah, confirm.
Okay. After to review, the head coach challenge is successful. We have a sportsmanlike foul in white 6. We have 2 free throws to the red number 1 and 14 seconds in the shot clock in the middle center line. Okay? Okay, after review, we have a sportsmanlike foul to the number 6 white. Okay? We have 2 shots on the ball.
And there's your adjudication right there, Kelsey, that they're going to assess Valenzuela with an unsportsmanlike foul. That looked like she was going to block the shot, but because she made contact with the face of Melendez, she's going to be assessed with that.
Yeah, and that's a big possession, or a big swing of possessions here for Puerto Rico, because not only will they get the foul shot, but they'll also get the ball back as well. And you know, only an 11-point game right now as Melendez speaks to the ref, and she's going to head to the line
And something like this really can break momentum. You look at Mexico, it's been in their favor with their shot making, especially. Couple minutes here, timeouts, challenges, conversations, and now you haven't been playing for a couple minutes.
As well as in that last game with Mexico against Brazil, I had mentioned Valenzuela got into early foul trouble, and it really hurts Mexico to not have her out there.
Any team where their bigs get in foul trouble against Brazil, that's going to be tough to overcome with their inside presence.
Here's Pagan to Guarentes. Guarentes doubled and stolen by Valenzuela, and that's how you do it. You let your game speak, and a recovery there on the defensive end as Gonzalez gets downhill. Back out to Valenzuela. Now Ramirez. The ball is stolen by Puerto Rico. They're on the move, a 2-on-1. India Pagan with the finish.
That's how quickly Puerto Rico can score and just run in transition. So offensive possession is very important here for Mexico, even though they have a little bit of a lead.
Jaquez drives. Almost has her own rebound there. Undercut a little bit. She takes the hard fall, and she's still getting up on the other end as Benitez and the rest of Puerto Rico, they've got the numbers, 4-on-5. Trinity San Antonio, no good. And Melendez gets the O board and puts it back in for 2.
Puerto Rico earning momentum on the glass right now. They're winning the rebounding battles on both ends of the court.
Valenzuela, hands off, Gonzalez, drives, dishes. And there's a big 3 by number 14, Alexia Gonzalez. Puerto Rico looking to respond. This is the biggest deficit they've faced so far in this game. India Pagan drives, and there's another foul there by Mariana Valenzuela. Just her second, course of the day. We have some substitutions in, and she's going to take a seat on the bench as Lara and Ramos check back in. For Puerto Rico, Rosado makes her way back into the game, as well as Brianna Jones.
Pagan was really tough last night for her team. Didn't score, but had 8 rebounds against Argentina, who has some big inside players themselves. A little preview of that final match tonight between Argentina and Brazil.
The ball gingerly rolls out of bounds, and Mexico's going to let it because they're going to regain possession as Pagan takes a seat on the bench. It's going to be Maya Hollingshed comes back into the game for Puerto Rico. And I like this matchup between Hollingshed and Lara. Battle of the bigs down low, but right now it's all guard play for Mexico. Ramirez over to Vidales. Vidales finds Lara down low, but it slips through her fingers with 2.5 on the shot clock. It's gonna come back to Puerto Rico.
Oh, and Vidales, she had a good shot. She was trying to generate a great shot, and she was just right there. Butterfingers.
Well, she gets it back here as she gets her hand in the passing lane, which forces the turnover. Here's Ramirez up to Ramos. Ramos from 3. Didn't hit anything on that one, but I have a feeling it has to do with Brianna Jones's defense in front of her there. Brianna Jones just so tough on the defensive end. Puerto Rico gonna call for the timeout. 4 minutes, 29 seconds left to go in the quarter. We'll head in to hear what Coach Batista has for his team, and they want to finish the second quarter strong against this young Mexican squad.
In possession now, gonna do this. You're here, okay? Watch if they change. Areya, you're here. Mariana, you're here. okay? Yagi. Pass the ball, keep going like this, okay? To the shallow. Pamela, métete, okay? Open up Arena. And as soon as we pass the ball to Arena, screen. And she's coming. Watch where they are. Screen the post player. Watch it. If you can go here, okay? We can pass the ball to her, okay? Just open up here. We can go into the other side. Dime. See? Anyway, you're going to do that. Anyway, if they go to women, we're going to do that, okay? Make basket. Listen up. Make basket. Just go wide like this. Wide. Okay? And then two. Okay? Don't let them get to the middle. Watch it.
You're taking a look at some of the highlights from Mexico there. And they're 7 from 11 from the three-point line right now. And 4 of those have come from this woman right here, and Mariana Valenzuela, who has to take a seat on the bench for a minute or two. She's got 2 fouls, and you see how important she is to Team Mexico. So foul trouble early in this game, that means so much for rankings going forward, is dangerous. There's Hollingshed, doubled at the elbow. Gets it back out to Rosado. Rosado likes the shot, no good. Hollingshed, offensive rebound to Benitez. Benitez just rims out. Lara ends that defensive possession for Mexico as they're on the move. Ramirez into the corner. Vidales back out. Vidales up top. Here's Ramos. Ramos being bugged by Brianna Jones there, and Brianna Jones does it again, forces the shot clock violation. Her toughness and tenacity gets that one done, and it'll go back towards Puerto Rico's bucket.
That's a community defense type of stop, because the point of attack defense through multiple players just simply was not relenting too much ground, and Mexico could not create an advantage. You need consecutive possessions like that.
Foul called there on number 33, Arina Vidales. Puerto Rico's shot clock reset to 14. Brianna Jones will start things off for Puerto Rico. Rosado in the corner, drives, dishes. Benitez from the skip pass, that one's good for 3. Benitez, another shooter on Puerto Rico who can get hot. It's just Puerto Rico's second 3 of the game. And just like that, offense fuels the defense. They force the turnover.
And now, if you're Mexico, this is a quick best defensive possession right now of your first half, because finally a 3 goes down for Puerto Rico.
Rosado comes off the Maya Hollingshed screen, and they're going to call that screen an illegal one.
That's a tough break. It's a tough call for Puerto Rico, because you hit that 3, and sometimes when things aren't going your way, just one shot can feel like things are really going to open up, and they don't even get another attempt on goal there on that possession.
Mexican coach Abeda is going to take a quick timeout, reset her squad. They're up by 6, just under 3 minutes left to go in the first half. We get a chance to dive in there with her and see the game plan.
If it's the zone, I want something really simple. Let's get it to Gabs, dribble it up, make sure we can get this pass back. Miriam, you're just finding the lowest man, and we're gonna try and throw the flare. If we don't have it, pop back out, and then just swing it to the opposite side, okay? If it's man's, we're right here, okay? Let's have you 2 in there. Vamos, vamos. My passage, Hazel. You gotta get it. Activate your man.
after a 22-point first quarter for Mexico, it's been a lot of Puerto Rico scoring in this second quarter as they've clawed their way back in. Just a 6-point game now. 3 minutes to go in the first half. It's going to be Mexico on the offensive first. Here's Jaquez. Ramirez, 10 seconds on the clock. Rejects the screen. She puts it up off the glass. No good. Lara with the offensive rebound. She banks that one home. Guarantes to Hollingshed. Hollingshed doubled up top. Kicks it to Benitez. Benitez from deep. That's an air ball, and it's going to go back towards Team Mexico. Ramirez, the head of the snake here for Mexico, looking to extend the lead. Here's Jaquez to Gonzalez. Back to Jaquez, down low. The hook shot, no good. It's going to be called a foul on Gabriela Jaquez on the rebound against Hollingshed.
This is where you'd love to see Hollingshed really use her size as an advantage with these two lineups out there, and I'm talking about length. So she can get herself to positions with her feet. She's already got the length. That's a perfect example of it as you get a look at Deza Beta, who has done a fantastic job. Let's not forget, like, you don't have time to fix too much. You have game after game that come at you fast. These teams are thrown together. They have limited time in training camps and to work together. And she's going to do an excellent job at Santa Clara joining Lori Payne's staff as they just take over the Bronco program.
Lara drives, tries to dish into Ramos, but great defense there by Puerto Rico as they collapse. Rosado able to kick it out to Melendez. Melendez to Benitez. Back up to Melendez, and she's going to look to calm things down for Puerto Rico. Guarantes. Over to Benitez. Benitez drives, pulls up. Mexico on the move. Ramirez to Gonzalez. Gonzalez drives, a floater down the middle. Just bounces off the rim with a long rebound, and now Pamela Rosado slows things down. Doesn't have numbers as two of the red jerseys float back, and that's why they do it. A big transition three for Maya Hollingshed. Under a minute in the first half. Ramos off the screen, back to Ramirez. Ramirez uses it again, finds space, pulls up from three, no good. Vidales gets the board, but it's tied up with Guarantes, and you talked about it, a little bit of extracurricular there, and Guarantes showing a bit of frustration. Both teams being held apart by the referees right now, and Amy, we talked about it, how much is on the line for both teams here as we get another look at the tie-up. But emotions are gonna flare.
Yeah, after the whistle, we've seen extended play now a couple times, and it's a great job by the official to get in there quickly. There's still a whole half of basketball to play, and so both teams really, calmer heads prevail here. What a lovely shot there from Hollingshed to get something going for her team.
It's so interesting in tournaments like this, Amy, because these two teams played each other 4 days ago, and so you're staying at the same hotels, you're playing the same teams. This game right here, like we said, has such huge implications in your rankings moving forward, as you see Guarantes is going to be charged with a technical foul. So I think there's going to be a double tech on both Arella Guarantes as well as Arid.
And it's a jump ball originally, so that you resume with the jump ball, which is a great job by the officials. Hey, not okay, but let's move on.
Yeah, but you look over at Team Mexico and you're getting a look at Vidales here. Both her hands are kind of shrugging like, what did I do?
It's interesting because the officials didn't go to the monitor to look either. Nonetheless, and to be honest, you wonder if something like that actually fires Puerto Rico up a little bit. I think that maybe a little hangover from last night and their disappointing loss in that first half, but they probably have a pretty spirited and fired up locker room at halftime.
Mexican ball on the baseline. Lara, hands off. Trying to get something done. Mexico, only 1.3 seconds on the shot clock. As Jaquez checks back into the game. She's got 3 fouls, though, so something to keep an eye on for this last 29 seconds.
The coach is trusting her. This is to get a shot off something, to run this offensive play, but don't foul on the other end. Do one thing.
Heel, able to get it up. No good. About a 1 second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Girantes. Back up to Rosado. Hollingshed now in the corner. A quick shot, and it's pulled down by Mexico, who have a chance on the offensive end now as the shot clock's unplugged. Here's Heel. Heel drives. Another jump ball. Great defense there, and hands by Hollingshed. This time the jump ball is going to go the other way, and Puerto Rico will have another chance on the offensive end with 3.3 on the clock.
Yeah, Hollingshed made a huge play, and she kind of had to, because that was a quick, maybe ill-advised shot on the other end, and so that's an excellent way to recover, just one-on-one, making a play on the ball.
And Mexico doesn't want Jaquez to pick up another foul, so she's going to take a seat as Alexia Gonzalez checks back in, and Rosado on the move, gets it up from 3. It would have been good if it went just a bit short at the end of the first half. It's Mexico 35, Puerto Rico 32 in a game where the winner will get the automatic bid to the pre-qualifiers of the World Cup, and the loser they're out of contention. We've seen a lot from that woman right there. Mariana Valenzuela leads all scorers in the game with 16 points. And she's done it with 100% shooting from the field.
Yeah, that's been incredible. Cooled off a little bit. You were expecting that, I think, right? Puerto Rico was going to try to go out there and contest the 3-ball a little bit. I like the temperature of this game. Highly competitive. We've seen it in the mud a little bit. We've also seen both teams get out and run. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, both teams coming off of a loss to get into these qualification rounds right now. And just a reminder, they played each other 4 days ago. Puerto Rico took that one by 17 points. But if Mexico has anything to say about it, they're putting up a fight, as you see on the offensive here. And that's 2 of the 16 points from Valenzuela.
Yeah, but it's not just an inside player. If you, she better get extra salt on her rim when it's time to celebrate. What an incredible performance. I know there's still a whole half to play, but you love that for Valenzuela. And Gabby Jaquez in the trail, catch and shoot. I call it catch and release, going fishing in the open court. Puerto Rico really got out and started running, and that's where I thought they got themselves back into this game, just getting up and down in transition. They hit a couple threes, but off of stops, they were really able to find some easy buckets on the run. Look at that, touch the paint, kick out. Those are great shots. Those are, we talk about a shot profile. I'd say those are good for every team. You're collapsing defense, but you're also creating momentum for a catch and shoot type look. One extra pass, there you go again. All these 3 balls you're seeing from Puerto Rico, they're not really off the bounce, are they? They're all in rhythm, catch and shoot, right into the pocket, get your feet underneath you, rise and fire.
All right, now at the half, Mexico leads the way 35-32, a 3-point game between these two teams, and it's heating up inside of the arena here in Santiago, Chile. We'll be back with second half action in just a minute.
isn't a moment. It's a time unlike any before.
It's not a request, not a maybe, not a someday.
This is now. Feel our presence, built on strength
and drive. Not rising, we are arriving. Not hoping, but owning.
This isn't a moment, it's movement. Constant, relentless.
Every cut, every pass, every shot. Earned. Taken.
Undeniable. The future, it's already here.
Forged in sweat, ruled by queens. When we move, the whole game shifts.
And we're unstoppable in all directions. We own the game.
Maybe some signs for Mexico as Ramirez backing one in.
Booker looks to get inside. Blocked by Batista.
Ferreira the other way. Counted in the foul.
What a finish by Catarina Ferreira.
A three and counted in the foul. Sammy Hill with a chance for a 4-point play. Gibb driving, slapped out of her hands by Paz. That's a good pass inside Gauna. And a better offense for Argentina. Gonzalez blocked by Egypt. Sprays back out to Chagas. Chagas feels like she has a look in her eye and finds Cabrera for two. Gallegos, a lot more energy in this gym now over the last couple of minutes. Laura rolling, rejected by Cardoso. And Cardoso gathering the troops saying, hey, enough is enough. You see the Mexican bench, though, showing some signs of life.
I really have appreciated her performance and her hustles. Of course, the response down the other, and that's it. Just go back the other way, make the right play. Run the rim, find the layup.
That is unbelievable. These guys will be legends in their own countries, but also in the international basketball world.
Welcome back to Santiago, Chile. You're watching the FIBA Women's AmeriCup 2025. It's Puerto Rico taking on Team Mexico, and we'll get a look at the top scorer for Puerto Rico so far in today's game. It's Maya Holly. She had 7 points to go along with 4 rebounds, an assist, and a steal.
Then she stepped out and she's knocked down a couple threes. as well. And so the #1 target for Mexico was Durantes, and they've held her to 5 points. I don't think that sticks here down in the second half. I think she's going to get a bit more aggressive nonetheless. So what's your next option? You see 33 jumping to 22, right? I mean, so you need those relief type points, or release valves, if you will, another score. And when they catch Hollingshed in rhythm, very effective from all over that court.
Puerto Rico had a slow start in this one, but made it up in the second. A lot of that had to do with Maya Hollingshed there. And we'll move over to Team Mexico, and the leading scorer for the Mexican squad is Mariana Valenzuela. And we mentioned it going into the half, but 16 points, 100% shooting. Most impressively 4 for 4 from the 3-point line. And
that meeting a couple days ago, Mexico was 6 for 25 from 3-point line. Right now they're 7 for 14, already eclipsing that. And all the credit to that woman right there, who is now stretching defense, stretching the floor. And now you have to keep your eye on Mexico and see if they've kind of already talked about what the counters to that are, which is getting downhill, getting to the gut, into the paint, and with some really tough aggressive cuts without the ball in your hands. But what a start for Valenzuela.
And you talked about already eclipsing that as a team. She had 8 points in that match just 4 days ago against the same squad, and doubled it already to start in the first half of this game. And we're just about 5 minutes out from restarting. And just as a reminder, the winner of this game has the automatic bid from 2 to 6, so you'd be in that top 6 entry into the 2026 World Cup pre-qualifying tournaments, whereas the loser will go on to play the Dominican Republic tomorrow and eliminated from further qualification. And Amy, it's no surprise to me that the first player out practicing right now is Arela Guarentes, the leading scorer and really the vocal leader of this Puerto Rican team. You can see her at the top of your screen there.
But when you look at her, you know what I'm thinking right now? This is not, I'm gonna get, this is her mind. This is getting mentally prepared and focused to battle here in the second half. And when you look at Puerto Rico, and not to discredit or take away with what Mexico has done, we know that they're capable of raising that to a higher level, and I think you're going to see that. You see San Antonio also getting some band work in. She's not taking shots, she's getting her body ready. These are intangible things, like getting your mind, getting your body ready. It's less about the basketball and more just execution and coming up with some big stops here for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico has been one of the most improved team over the last decade. They've won 4 straight Central Basket Women's Championships, including the most recent back in 2024, where most of that roster from that championship is back here today representing Puerto Rico. And you really get a glimpse at the chemistry of this team as you see Hollingshed leading in 2 categories, but at any given time, there's 3, 4, 5 players who could lead in all 3 different categories in any game.
And 9 players from this initial roster played in Paris in the Olympics. So that type of experience and that type of stage, when your first half doesn't go as well as you'd like in terms of shooting, or when you're coming off of a tough game, right? I think you go, okay, well, you've done it before, and you've done it at a very high level. And 6 of those 9 players started in those Olympic Games. And so you reset and you get ready to go. All that being said, they're down 3.
Yeah. I mean, one of the difference makers, like we said, down 3 right now, but won by 17 just 4 days ago against this Mexican squad. And they shot 57% from the two-point range in that game, and in this first half just shooting 33% is not a horrible shooting percentage, but compared to what they were able to do against Mexico in the last game, I mean, not even close. And so Mexico's defense deserves a little kudos for that as well, forcing them into some shots that, you know, Puerto Rico wasn't necessarily extremely happy about in that first quarter specifically. And Mexico, a really young, gritty team, looks to, you know, make some history for themselves as they go on further into tomorrow's games.
And if Mexico stays in this hot pocket of hitting threes, they'll be okay here, right? But they're 7 for 14 from long range for 50%. When you look at their 2-point attempts, less than 24% they're shooting in there. And so that's part of Puerto Rico's conversation. Hey, they've hit some shots, they generate shots, hit shots. So what's the counter? Like, you know what I mean? I think sometimes you worry more about yourself and kind of believe that they're not going to stay hot all game, but we'll see.
You're taking a look at one of the hottest hands for Mexico, the leading scorer of all players right now in the game, Mariana Valenzuela, with 16 points, and she comes off the bench for Team Mexico, so we won't see her initially in this first couple minutes of play, as I think we can head inside of this timeout to listen to Coach Abeda.
Vamos, vamos. I get that. I know that one. Let's go.
There's a QR code in the bottom of your screen there. Take a picture of that. Download the Courtside 1891 app, where you can see all the live streams, you can see all the highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball, including the rest of today as we get into the semifinals. And then tomorrow, we've got classification games as well as the bronze and gold medal games. You won't want to miss it. We'll be here, and we hope you're here with us on that Courtside 1891 app.
And a half of basketball remaining for one of these teams to guarantee to punch a ticket to next spring's pre-World Cup qualifier tournament. You're just guaranteeing the opportunity to compete.
It's a three-point game at the half, 35-32. It's anyone's game as 20 minutes of basketball left to go between Puerto Rico and Mexico. Kelsey Wright-Johnson, Amy Audibert here, bringing you a second half of basketball. We're 7 seconds in, and it's already very physical. Ramos from three. Mexico's hot three-point shooting continues.
And Puerto Rico goes, oh no, you gotta get out on the shooters a little bit more. They're still hot from long range. Number 8 on the day game.
Hollingshed out to Benitez. Benitez from the corner. No good. Ramos taps it out, and now it's Ramirez in the open court. A quick run by Jaquez. She dishes out to Ramirez. No good. Lara grabs that offensive rebound, keeps it alive to Ramirez. Jaquez now back to the basket. Spin move goes up. No good. And finally, Puerto Rico able to pull that one down.
Jaquez got caught leaning out, fading away, and maybe if you push in, you get the whistle there.
Hollingshed tries for a three of her own. Bounces out, and Jaquez with the rebound. Ramos off the screen from Lara. Back to Ramirez. Ramirez wants the screen, uses it. Tries to find a rolling Lara, but great defense there by Hollingshed.
Ramirez wanted the screen, but she was being defended by a post and called another post player up. And so that's a post-to-post switch. And in undersized, they're not creating much of an advantage or being able to see out of it.
Well, she makes the most of it there. No advantage needed for Ramirez.
That was the plan the whole time, right?
A fadeaway two from the baseline. Now Puerto Rico looking to respond on the offensive end. Here's Benitez. Finds a wide open Guirantes. Can't connect, but keeping it alive is San Antonio. Back to Guirantes. Guirantes drives, sees the opening. Lara with the block. Here's Ramos now. Hands it off, back up top. Asks for the screen from Lara. Ramos picked up her dribble. It's now Jaquez up top. Jaquez Over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez drives, throws it up off the backboard. San Antonio in the transition. Nobody gets in front of her. No one gets back. And just like that, an easy bucket for Trinity San Antonio.
Nobody in front of her the entire way. Everyone trailing. I like that she wasn't even looking for other teammates. Get to the rim if nobody's going to stop you.
Ramirez, no one stopped her on that one, and she's able to kiss it off the glass. I'd be smiling too if I was part of Team Mexico right now. They take a 42-34 lead over Puerto Rico, who looks to put a dent in this deficit they have. Hollingshed up to Gurantes. They swing it. Pagan down low. Pagan doubled. There's going to be a foul called.
Yeah, look at San Antonio getting in there right away, getting the ball, saying, all right, let's go, let's go. That's just leadership by example. And you love that when it's your point guard, because right now she's the vocal leader of this team too. She starts with the ball usually on offense within her hands, and when she's willing to step up and direct and communicate to her teammates, it certainly helps as they try to get back into this one.
Hollingshed at the free throw line, kicks it out, gets it back up top. She hit that three earlier, and she'll do it again from the top of the three. Maya Hollingshed. Ramirez directing traffic for Mexico. Ramos. To Lara. Lara, the spin move, picks up her dribble. Right back to Ramos. Great patience there by Ramos.
What a cut. Looked like the ball was dead and the possession was going to go back the other way. An excellent cut.
Knocked out of bounds here for on Mexico, excuse me. It'll be Puerto Rico ball on the baseline. San Antonio fakes, goes up and under, and there's a foul called there on Miriam Lara. It'll send Trinity to the line. Trinity San Antonio, 7 points in the game so far. Melendez back into the game for Puerto Rico as San Antonio toes the line.
I like the substitution because if you're Puerto Rico right now, you're looking for that like compete surge, if that makes sense. And Melendez, to me, is one of the tougher competitors on Puerto Rico, along with San Antonio. And so this is a feisty lineup. No surprise, you see full court pressure here.
Mexico breaks the press. Now looking to set up an offense as here's Ramirez. Ramirez getting a lot of pressure from San Antonio, but able to go high off the glass for 2 points. Ramirez now got 7 points. Gurantes uses the screen. It's going to be an offensive foul called on Arella Gurantes, and she's looking at the ref right now asking for the review, and coach says, yeah, I think I saw that one too.
The poise of Ramirez right now has been off the charts incredible. On offense, on defense, everywhere, all over the court, she's making the plays.
It's Ramirez now up to Ramos. Hands off to Martinez. Martinez drives, dishes. Lara against Hollingshed. Lara picks up her dribble. Good pressure by Hollingshed. Lara off the glass. The basket looks about 8 feet wide for Mexico right now. Everything they're throwing up is going in, and they take an early 48-39 lead over Team Puerto Rico.
In the first game, Team Colombia made a couple wild bank shots off the same basket. The one down on this end. That backboard wants to be friends with everybody today.
Let's go like this on offense, okay? one set. Trinity, you're here. No, Arela, bring the ball. Trinity y Pamela están en los dos laterales. Okay? What we're gonna do against their zone? They're like this. Tag a little bit. Come to the ball. Come to the ball. Make a screens. Go to the corner. Okay? Tag a little bit. Throw help. Watch the shooters on the corners. Okay? Hey, set up. If you don't have that, roll. Go to the middle. 13 after that.
The horse or in the corner? Am I in the horse?
No. You're going to make a screen. And then
Mexico with the 48-39 lead over Puerto Rico in a classification game that'll give the birth to one team to the World Cup pre-qualifiers and the other a dance at the 7-8 game tomorrow morning. Here's Guirantes for Puerto Rico. To Melendez, now San Antonio looking to do something with it. Rosado likes the look. A big three by the 39-year-old Pamela Rosado. Valenzuela is back in the game. She wanted to answer, couldn't. Rosado, the smallest player on the floor, comes down with the rebound. Kicks it to Hollingshed. Hollingshed! The answer that Puerto Rico needed. It is just a three-point game. Hollingshed, 13 points. I always say on the night, but it's, I don't even know, midday here.
Yeah.
A drive by Gonzalez, no good. But she'll be rewarded with a trip to the foul line. Alexia Gonzalez. She's got 5 points on the evening so far.
Look at this substitution too. So another tough player in Brianna Jones. And you look how quickly Puerto Rico's able to score 6 points in less than a minute. Such a close game here. But that's a nice attack, and everyone just takes a deep breath for Mexico. You hit your free throws, cherry on top.
Substitution in for Puerto Rico as one of the leaders of this squad in terms of scoring and rebounding. Zanisa Jeffries checks back into the game. Another big body in the back of this zone for Mexico. Puerto Rico looks to break that zone. Hollingshed up top into Guirantes. She's down low, finds herself open, blocked by Jeffries. That's Jeffries slowing things down for Team Mexico. Gets it back up top. Martinez drives. I thought she was going to try and use that glass too, but she doesn't need it, Amy. That one. No rim.
Mid-range floater. And Mexico's just hitting some shots today. They get confident.
Guirantes out to Hollingshed. Hollingshed off the mark. I think the whistle's going to be blown after a hit. Carla Martinez holding her shoulder, but she looks okay as she goes. Just kind of an ache on her shoulder there. It gives Mexico the opportunity to bring Gabriela Jaquez back into the game. Mexico now with their big three. Their scorers in Jaquez, Jeffries, and Valenzuela. Here's Jeffries up to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, no one stepped up, so she took the three. It's just short. Rosado pulls up for a three of her own. That one's no good, and it's a foul on Valenzuela, her third personal foul, and Mexico's fourth team foul of the quarter.
Yeah, Valenzuela was trying to get to the ball, I think maybe to block, and just lost her balance on the closeout. And those are just, as great as she's been, such a costly decision. You see her lunge forward and then Rosado's just going to go to the free throw line now for 3 shots. And, wow.
Pamela Rosado. She was a Central Basket MVP back in 2021, and she's actually the head coach of Puerto Rico's U16 team as she represents the senior team here on the AmeriCup stage.
That's got to be so cool for her athletes to sit here and watch, and I wonder if she feels a little more pressure, right? Like, Coach, you better not be doing things you're telling us not to do.
You got all those teenagers watching you, and you know how teenagers are.
Yeah. But Coach makes her free throws.
Haka is on the other end now. There's going to be a foul called there on Trinity San Antonio. A little bit too much pressure up top on Valenzuela, but can you blame her? 4 for 4. She is from the 3-point line.
Yeah, Puerto Rico with that type of intensity tells me they're trying to speed that ball up and force Mexico into some flustered offense and get them out of rhythm a little bit.
Valenzuela in the corner, going up against a lot of pressure from Hollingshed. Here's Ramirez now. Got to put it up, gets the defender up, hits the rim, but it's pulled down from the rim by Rosado on the other end. A little extracurricular. The ref gets in between, and now they just join us on the screen. Rosado off the glass, no good. Jaquez rips it down. Now here's Gabriela Jaquez. Kicks it to Heel. Heel is looking inside. Drives baseline. Takes a lot of contact from Hollingshed, and it's getting chippy in here, Amy.
A lot of contact right down in the baseline region. I will say the ball pressure from Puerto Rico has made things significantly tougher. It's the right call. It's a hard foul. It's a block you play on. But the ball pressure from Puerto Rico has made it incredibly tough for Mexico to even see some passing lanes. On that last possession, Valenzuela had excellent inside position. Yeah, I'm pumped up too, and I love those masks. But her teammates couldn't see the lane and because of the ball pressure, and that's a great way when your post has great position to kind of discourage the pass too. We often talk about only post defense, but the perimeter defense matters absolutely.
Mexico took a while to get that one in. And talk about the pressure that Puerto Rico is putting on this Mexican offense right now. Ramirez, she made that shot earlier. That one won't fall, and this time it's pulled up by Lara. Jaquez now to Ramirez. Ramirez from 3, off the mark. Heel tries to keep that one alive. A half step too late. It's going to go back towards Puerto Rico.
And Ramirez getting a lot as she subs out. I know she missed the last shot there, but getting a lot of high fives from her team. Keeps shooting the ball. I mean, she's been so hot. If she's open, I think you have to let those fly. And that was a nice one off of a collapsed defense inside.
Benitez, one of the most high percentage shooters from Puerto Rico, just off the back rim from that 3 attempt. Approaching a minute to go in the third. Galajos up to Heel. Heel drives, dishes right back. Step back 3 is, she passes off to Heel. There's Lara with the mid-range. It's the first possession she's had on offense, already making an impact. Here's Hollingshed now up top. Rosado skips it to San Antonio. Drive. San Antonio tries to find Benitez there, and Benitez went left. San Antonio went right.
And the difference between the last 2 possessions is Mexico's handling the poise of pressure defense. You know, one quick dribble, next pass. One quick dribble, next pass. Trying to beat defenders, but maintaining control of the ball until a nice open shot opens up. And then on the other end, ball just gets chucked out of bounds. And so this is where, if you're Puerto Rico, you got to want to really snap into your experience.
Galejos drives. She's fouled there by Pamela Rosado, and she'll go to the line now for 2 shots. Get another look at this take, a real strong rip and go from Galejos. Mexico been to the line for 10 shots, shooting 90% from the free throw line on the game. Substitution in for Team Mexico as they bring back in Vidales. And it's going to be Puerto Rico ball on the offensive. They're down 56-48. A little over 30 seconds to go in the third. Girantes up against two, splits the defenders. Can't get it to fall, but the foul is called for Arella Girantes. That's the impact she makes the minute she steps into the floor.
Really, really frustrated right now, and wanted the first call. She was saying, you know, call the first one, but you have to just, and she knows that, right? You just have to keep playing until the whistle blows. Between last night and this one, you can tell, I think it's getting to her just a little bit. But she has the ability to single-handedly change a game, and I think everybody in the gym knows that.
Yeah, and she had 31 points. I think you mentioned that earlier. 31 points in the last game against Mexico just a few days ago. She makes the first foul shot, which brings her to 7 points here today. But I mean, we still have 10 minutes to go, and we've seen her explode and take over the game, runs of her own.
Yeah, she's been the scorer. She led the Paris Olympics in points per game for her team, Puerto Rico.
Mexico now looking to take the last shot of the quarter. Lara in the corner. Being guarded closely by Hollingshed. She dishes out. Back up to Heel. Heel loses control there, wanted the foul. Referee saying out of bounds. It's going to be Mexico ball. 1.3 on the shot clock, 1.7 on the game clock. Ramos looking for her teammates. Finds Ramirez. Ramirez, a couple dribbles, it goes up. They're going to say a foul first. So there's going to be a foul there on Heel for Team Mexico, an offensive foul. And the refs are going to get together to see if the foul happens before or after the shot. So you get a review of that one there.
The official made this, the action was signaling some sort of hook, but it was the offensive player who ended up on the ground, and then it becomes, did you blow the whistle before the gather? That is a tight call, but it is a huge one.
Yeah, it's a 6-point game right now. And we've said this time and time again, the implications of this game. These games may be even more important than the semifinals that come up later on in today's game, because the loser is out of qualification. The winner onto the World Cup pre-qualifiers. The referee's decision is it's going to be a foul on number 31, Myra Heel of Mexico, and that shot is not going to count. That Ramirez was able to bank in, as he kind of explains the decision to Coach Abeda of Team Mexico. If he could come explain it to us too, Amy, that would be great.
And what they would have to be saying here, though, is that the foul was committed before the release of the shot. It was so tight in timing. I think they maybe go look at it, because it was too tight. I would say in real time, as excellent as they are, they're going to take a look at it.
We get the review we asked for. Let's listen in on the referees.
We're going to review if the foul was committed before the red light appears. Okay. Okay. Go. 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 There. Go back. Go back. Go forward a little bit. Forward, 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 forward. There. There, there, there. 0.7, all right? We have 0.7 sideline red ball, okay? Okay, after the review, the game was resumed with the 0.7 in the game clock, sideline to red ball. 207. After review, 0.7 in the game clock, 0.7. There. After review, 0.7, all right? No basket, no basket. Red ball? No.
All right,
red
so
ball.
the
Yeah,
call
red ball,
stands.
red ball, red ball.
The shot is not going to count. The foul will go to Myra
El
Hill.
foul entra, porque fue por ahí se tendría que haber parado el juego. Da, solo fuimos...
And it'll be Puerto Rico with possession on the baseline, 0.7 seconds on the clock. As you see Mexico's squad head back out for the last 0.7 seconds of the third quarter. And we got Coach Batista coming out with his clipboard because, you know, they worked some kind of magic play there to get a shot off for Team Puerto Rico.
Really, Mexico choosing not to be big on the ball and sending two on Girantes.
Hollingshed tries to go up for a deep three, and Lara is right there, a rock wall in front of her, and they're not able to get that shot anywhere close to the rim. So at the end of three quarters, it's 56-50, Mexico over Puerto Rico. As you get a quick look at both benches. It's been the three-point shooting for Mexico, 8 for 18. They've been on fire, and then they got the glass involved from the two-point range.
And they had only hit one in that third quarter. They were 7 for 14 from long at half. So for them to maintain the lead while they've cooled down significantly from long range, there it is right there. There's the one, and by the way, that was the first play out of out of halftime. And so you credit them for finding other ways to score. They're continuing to attack, get to the rim, get to the free throw line. It's going to be a chippy fourth quarter, I think. These teams have been competing really, really hard, but Ramirez in that third quarter, I thought, really stole the show, number 22 for Mexico. Puerto Rico also able to get out and run. Look at that pass. We talk about the karma of the game. I thought Mexico's winning it right now because some of their Hail Mary kind of late possession, they're going in their favor. Just that type of passing, a couple off the glass. Here's one right here. And so they're playing hard. And for Desabeta, she really wants a win for her team when they're played the right way. And through three quarters, they've played the right way. But guess what? Basketball, not a three-quarter sport. And this is going to come down to some huge swing key possessions in this fourth quarter.
And you can watch that fourth quarter by downloading the Courtside 1891 app. Scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen as you can watch these live streams from all over the world. You can get extended highlights and stay up to date with all international basketball, including the semifinals that happen later this afternoon, as well as the ranking games and the medal games that'll happen right here in Santiago, Chile, just tomorrow. Puerto Rico to start on the offensive end in this fourth quarter. Girantes, I like the look they get for her to start this one, and she answers with a big three to kick off the fourth quarter. Hill up top, Galejos over to Ramos. Into Lara at the free throw line. Lara back to the basket. Kind of a rush shot there, not able to square her shoulders quite in time, and right away we're going to get some substitutions and bring Valenzuela and Ramirez back into the game, two of the leaders of this team. I named them the big three, but Ramirez deserves to be right up there with them.
Yeah, this has been a community effort so far for the Mexican team.
Girantes to San Antonio, back to Rosado. Rosado. And Heel punches the gap, and it's one-on-one in transition. Heel up and under. What a finish by Myra Heel.
And what an anticipation to shoot the gap, knowing that Girantes is probably they're gonna look to get her the ball.
And she said, fool me once, shame on me, but the same play, fool me twice, not this time. No, here's Puerto Rico. Rosado to Girantes. Girantes looking to do it herself, pulls up, no good. Valenzuela with yet another rebound. Ramirez off the Valenzuela screen, dishes back. She was 4 for 4 and 4 for 5 now, but she'll get another opportunity. Drives to the hoop, throws it up, no good. An offensive rebound. She creates her own opportunity. No one stops her. 2 offensive rebounds by Valenzuela, and you see Coach Chaveda. I'd be happy too. That's the heart that you're asking from your team.
Because in the first 2 games, she was questioning her team's effort to start. And now, when you talk about who wants it more, that possession, and it's one possession at a time, who wants it more? Her team wants it more right now, and this is how you want to finish a FIBA AmeriCup.
A stat that sticks out to me when I'm looking at, you know, kind of hustle plays is Mexico has more turnovers than Puerto Rico, and that's kind of expected. Puerto Rico is the more experienced team. They play together, the chemistry, but points off turnovers. Mexico, I mean, almost, they're more than doubling Puerto Rico right now, and I think that just goes to show, you know, the effort and the poise, I think is the word that you use on the offensive end that Mexico has been using. Girantes trying to will her team back into this one, and she's the one who's going to have to do it on the offensive end right now. There's a little hard hustle play by Myra Heel on the other end.
Yeah, for Puerto Rico, it's been a bit more of a 2-headed snake with Girantes and Hollingshed. But for Mexico, when you look at highlights, it really feels like in this second half particularly, it's been so many different hands. Except that last possession, that was all Venezuela, who hit a 3, layup, offensive rebound off the glass. 3 attempts in 1 possession. And that forces a quick timeout for Puerto Rico. Like, snap right back into it. No more of those, please.
See how Puerto Rico responds out of the timeout. They find a wide open Girantes from the corner. That's 2 threes from her to start off this 4th quarter, and plays drawn up specifically for her as she leads scoring. Well, her and Hollingshed. There's a steal for San Antonio. San Antonio back to Girantes. Girantes up to Hollingshed. Hollingshed from 3, just off the mark. San Antonio almost keeps it alive for Puerto Rico. With the white jerseys, they move on the other direction. Ramirez is fouled there by Team Puerto Rico.
Yeah, San Antonio on the rebounding foul, saying that she had hooked the player behind her. Been a lot of effort from both sides on the glass today on the rebounding efforts. And
yeah, Mexico leads that rebounding effort 26-20. There's a lot of chatter between these 2 teams. Once again, it's the 2nd time they've played each other in 4 days, and this one has a lot on the line as Mexico takes it out of bounds on the sideline. Here's Ramirez. And there's a foul called there on Maya Hollingshed.
And I'm not sure if she was trying to take that because she was beat, but you got to be careful with those because there's no play on the ball, and that could very easily potentially be upgraded. And her 4th personal foul. Mexico, this is communicate, you know, be aware of that because she's been such a huge option for Puerto Rico in this game.
Ramos up top. Martinez got to make something happen as the clock shot winds down, and what a block by Maya Hollingshed. as Rosado gets suffocated from the defense of Mexico on the other end. Here's Valenzuela. Kicks it over. Hey, talking about shooting the gaps. There's Trinity San Antonio. She is so fast and so quick. Turns that defense into offense for a quick 2. It's just a 2-point game. Ramirez to Ramos. Ramos rejects the screen, drives, and that's a foul on India Pagan. She's got 3 personal fouls.
And that's a nice possession for Mexico because Puerto Rico gets it to a 1-possession game just like this. Great anticipation, weak side playing a gap and finishes it off. But how about Mexico? You get it to 1 possession and they continue to attack and get a call here.
Six and a half minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. Mexico leads the way by 2. And we talked about who it's going to have to be for Team Puerto Rico to get their back in this one. And right now, it's the 2 leading scorers, what she said, 2 heads of the snake for Team Puerto Rico. Arela Garantes, Maya Hollingshed both have 13. Mexico been such a team effort. Valenzuela leads the way with 18. Miriam Lara has got 8. Gonzalez 7. Ramirez 7. Martinez 5. Everyone contributing from this Mexican team right now as they try and hold on to the lead.
That's a big block at the end of the shot clock, but Hollingshed, she's so good at utilizing her own length. Eyes on the prize. She's able to get to the ball just because of her long arms, but also just great timing.
Mexico in the white, Puerto Rico in red. Valenzuela drives up and under on the right. What a finish by the center of Team Mexico. San Antonio. It's going to be a foul there on Ramirez. A lot of contact, I think, going both ways in that matchup.
Ramirez almost too pumped up on the perimeter there. When you give a player your body, they can start spinning on you. And that time, San Antonio had used it to her advantage.
Gabriela Jaquez checks back into the game for Team Mexico. She comes in with just 3 points, but contributing with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Garantes goes up. The effort almost had that one for Puerto Rico, but now it's Team Mexico on the other end. Ramos from deep 3, no good, and that's another foul on Maya Hollingshed. Also, Puerto Rico's 4th team foul. It's going to send Ramos to the line for 3.
And with such a quick trigger, that to me is what draws that type of foul. Hollingshed just caught on a closeout without a whole lot of body control. And Ramos, I mean, that's her game. Just watching her this whole tournament, she gets quick shots up in transition. And when you're a half step behind like that, you either got to let the shot go or, well, I guess take the foul, but I'm not sure it's the great decision here.
Claudia Ramos, her Instagram, just for fun, Claudia La Matador Ramos.
Oh, I like that.
Here's Pamela Rosado. To Garantes. Garantes kicks it out, right back. Rosado off the mark. A big rebound by Valenzuela, and she's tied up under the basket. And it's going to go back towards Team Mexico.
Okay, San Antonio, she just ripped down a much bigger Venezuela.
Well, you mentioned the toughness of Trinity San Antonio, and this play right here highlights that toughness right there.
Look how bad these teams are competing, how bad they want to win and guarantee a ticket into next spring's pre-World Cup qualifying tournament.
Doesn't get much closer than this. It's Mexico taking on Puerto Rico. Mexico with the ball in their hands. Jaquez to Ramos. Ramos hands off to Valenzuela, the leading scorer, this Mexican team. She picks up her dribble, tries to find a teammate. Rosado with the steal up to Hollingshed, and now Guarentes is tasked making something happen for this team. She's got it up top, off the screen. And there's the 5th foul, Maya Hollingshed. And she'll have to take a seat on the bench for the rest of this one. 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and without Maya Hollingshed, one of the leading scorers of this squad, it's a big hole to fill for Puerto Rico.
Huge, huge call here. It's the right one. You look at the elbows coming out on the screen. It's unfortunate. There's definitely intention to free up Guarentes and making her looks get a little bit easier, try to help her out getting downhill, but that's a tough one out on the perimeter. She's such an experienced pro, right? Like there's not a lot of traffic there. That becomes so obvious.
Jaquez can't connect. She gets back on defense. It's Puerto Rico now, looking to make something happen. Here's Brianna Jones. Finds Melendez down low. She keeps it alive. Rosado skips it to San Antonio. San Antonio drives baseline. Back out to Rosado from 3. Big board pulled down by Valenzuela. And it's a diving Brianna Jones who eventually knocks that one out of bounds. And we're seeing a lot of bodies on the floor, Amy. They know what this team means, or what this game means to their country, and you see full effort by every single one of the 10 players you see on the court right now.
A lot of grit there from Puerto Rico, but also matching that, the one-woman wrecking crew. And Valenzuela just loving her performance, especially in this game. She has come up with some massive possessions for her team.
20 points, 6 rebounds. This Jaquez to start something. She feeds inside. Valenzuela tripled. Back out to Ramos. Ramos from 3 off the mark. It's Melendez with the board, and now Guarentes in the open court. She pulls it back to Melendez, excuse me. Jones finds Guarentes. Guarentes, a spin move against 2. Finds the wall of Valenzuela. It's knocked out of her hands. Ramirez. That's going to be a traveling call on Arella Guarentes. What team defense we saw there as she hits the body of one and finds the hands of another.
Do you remember that opening talk before the ball even got tipped from Coach Des? Community defense on number 22. That's it right there. Continuing to execute down the stretch is Mexico.
Valenzuela, the deep 2. Doesn't connect. Brianna Jones comes down with the board, and now Guarentes will have another shot on the offensive end. Benitez back up to Jones. Jones pulls it back. Guarentes asks for the screen. Over to Jones. Brianna Jones off the mark, gets her own rebound. Back out to San Antonio. San Antonio redrives. 3 are on her. Now it's Melendez. Finds the lane. The floater down the middle. No good. Valenzuela goes for the board, and it's going to be a foul called on number 2, Brianna Jones. And Puerto Rico, 5 team fouls will send Valenzuela to the line now.
Valenzuela has just been so tough. That's just a battle between some big, tough players down by the baseline.
Brianna Jones will take a quick seat on the bench. She's got 3 personal fouls. And for hers, India Pagan.
Surprise, she's bleeding. Valenzuela, because that's how tough it's been for her down there on the baseline and in the paint in particular. I know she's hit some shots, but the hits that have been giving and receiving around the rim have been big tonight, as a couple players look like they're getting cleaned up there. Puerto Rico, that last possession, while they found some good looks, it took so much time off the clock, and that what they probably at some point soon start thinking about that too.
Timeout called by Mexico, as we just got a look at not only Valenzuela getting some work because she's bleeding, but Ramirez looked like might have gotten a little cut on her leg there as well. As you get a glimpse at the training staff working on Valenzuela. It's nice when the cut is there and you can wrap it up. We saw a couple games ago with Brazil where it was almost impossible to stop the players from bleeding. And Valenzuela performing, excuse me, so well today for this team. 20 points, as she'll have an opportunity to make it 22, going to the foul line when they get back. And 7 for 11 shooting, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals.
Yeah, she's been incredible for her team in this game. Played college at FSU and then Seton Hall in the Big East. Probably carved up a whole lot of boards down there too, I mean. You get a look at Garantes.
It'll be fun to watch her at Seton Hall in the upcoming year. Now, you know, a lot of these girls have NCAA or pro experience, and she hasn't even started her pro career yet. So just the beginning for Mariana Valenzuela. She takes the line for 2 shots.
Well, when you look at how she's able to not just survive, but thrive at the international level, the physical level, some of those extra hits. I mean, she dominates at times in the paint.
And then can pull it out from the 3-point as well. Now here's Puerto Rico. Moving the ball. Back up to Garantes. Garantes fakes. Passes to Rosado. Rosado from 3. And there's Coach Pamela Rosado for 3 points. It's a 6-point game. Ramirez drives. Kicks out. Valenzuela from 3, too strong. Benitez pulls down the board. Now Puerto Rico slowing it down, looking to get into an offense. Benitez from 3. It looked good from where we're sitting, but pulled back down the offensive board, and right there to clean it up, Arella Garantes. She's not done yet, as she makes it a 3-point game for her country. Mexico looking to respond now. Valenzuela up top, hands off to Ramirez. Ramirez now to Ramos. Ramos, they're looking inside. Ramirez looking for the 3 answer, no good. Benitez with the board, and it's Garantes on the move. Garantes over to Rosado. Rosado finds an open Pagan. Pagan goes up, no good. She hits the deck, but it's now Mexico on the move. They've got numbers. And Rosado slows it down just in time for Pagan to get back down there. Valenzuela gets her own rebound. Jaquez, that's a tough rebound as she hits the deck. 3 players on the floor. Garantes on the floor holding her knee, and she looks like she's in a lot of pain. A lot of scramble though. Take another look. It's Valenzuela.
Yeah, it looks like Valenzuela got contact with her leg on the side. Such a scramble. And that's what you don't want, right? You want, first of all, health, most important. You want players to stay healthy, but also you want the best players out there. And it's a great job to Mexico to come together and just try to stay composed, because things like this definitely change the feel of the game.
Now both teams will regroup. as trainers tend to Arella Guirantes under the basket. And I mean, you said it, if you're Mexico, you want to go up against the best, and Arella Guirantes is the best of the best, and having herself a really good tournament here. She's leads the tournament in she's second leading scorer in the tournament in points per game, averaging 17 points per game, as you get a look at the Puerto Rican huddle as they look to plan out their next minute and 27 seconds here of this ball game.
This is such a tough position for Puerto Rico to be in, just in terms of when you see your teammate go down and like that and be in pain like that on the court, and then have to go a minute 27, one possession game. You got to keep it together, as Guirantes is going to get carried off the court.
Yeah, she's gonna go straight back to the locker room for Puerto Rico, and they're without the leading scorer of the team now, and they're gonna look to make something happen here on the offensive end. Here's Benitez over to San Antonio into Melendez. Melendez finds Pagan right back out to San Antonio. She redrives, a side step, long two is good for Trinity San Antonio to bring the team within one. Heel out to Ramirez. Ramirez, a quick three. Might have been too quick. Here's Rosado now. And Trinity in the open court. Trinity San Antonio goes up, and they take the lead by one. Under a minute to go. Ramirez calming things down for Mexico. Ramirez drives baseline, dishes out to Heel. Heel redrives, a pull-up two, no good. A big rebound now from Benitez, and it's Ramirez who takes that foul. And Mexico's got a couple fouls to give, Amy, only their second team foul of the quarter.
Puerto Rico's energy on defense seems, I mean, Mexico has now on a couple possessions settled for long to mid-range jumpers, and you still want to keep that attack mentality.
There's a timeout called by Mexico, and it almost seems like Puerto Rico's got a little more to play with as they want to bring good news back to the locker room, where Guirantes is now being treated.
Puerto Rico, before this lead, has led this game for a total of 1 minute and 55 seconds. What an incredible push. San Antonio with that experience. The first possession, that's the one to me where I was so impressed with. They're down three, and you'd think that most teams are drawing out a three. She had a three, but she found her rhythm with the bounce, right? And I know some people probably went, what is she doing? You knew this is it right here. You were gonna have time. There was over a minute left still. You're putting a lot of pressure on the offense the other end. Get a bucket anyway. And now because of that, right? You make one, you get a stop, you make another one, boom, you got the lead. And so I was really impressed with her in-game split-second decision-making on that initial possession to just find a shot that she was the most comfortable with.
Yeah, Trinity San Antonio. What a game for her. 15 points, 6 for 7 shooting. More impressively, 6 assists. She's getting her teammates involved and finding openings. And she's going to take it out of bounds for Puerto Rico out of the timeout. Rosado to Melendez. Melendez now to Pagan. Mexico looking to foul. Their third team foul of the quarter.
That's a good foul to take. You don't want to get beat long in full court pressure. Got some fouls to give here. Now, Valenzuela checking back in.
Puerto Rico has the ball on the sideline. Melendez into San Antonio. San Antonio, it's 3 players surrounding her, and they're going to take that foul. It's their 4th team foul now of the quarter, as they don't even let 1 second come off the clock.
And now you play straight up right here.
Heel fouls. It's the 5th team foul. It'll send Pamela Rosado to the line. And now both teams in the penalty for the last 19.5 seconds.
Wow, Mexico decided to just give them free throw opportunities.
Rosado makes the most of it. And
well, this allows them to, number one, drop a quick shot, and if they don't, more time to extend the game out.
Rosado shooting close to 90% from the line, and she makes both with all the pressure in the world on her shoulders in this late game play. It's Mexico on the baseline, excuse me, 19.5. As Brianna Jones checks back in on the defensive end, and one of the toughest defenders for Puerto Rico now in guarding Heel. It's gonna be Mexico ball on the baseline. That pass made the crowd ooh and ah. Here's Jaquez, a deep 3, no good. What a rebound by Trinity San Antonio, and Mexico with the foul. Heel fouled that one, and Trinity San Antonio has to be held back, but she's going to be rewarded. Her team will escort her to the line where she has a chance to put up 2 more shots.
Well, Jaquez got a good look. It was early. You wanted to take a quick shot because you have the opportunity to extend the game here. That's a foul. You just get up and play on. A lot of emotion in this game, especially late for Puerto Rico.
You got to know they're fouling you.
With Garantes going down, but you do credit them to come up with some huge defensive stops down the stretch here.
Mexico uses their last timeout with 7.9 on the clock. Puerto Rico leading the way 70-67 in a game where Mexico has led for a majority. And the referee is gonna take a look and review the last play, and we'll take a look with them.
Okay, we wanted to review if the contact meet from criteria for a sportsmanlike foul. Give me the main camera and normal speed first. All right, give me the camera from baseline. Yes. Oh. Now we have the foul. Okay. This, for me, is a normal basketball play. He grabbing, and after that, she going down. But the white player is grabbing, and a 23 read try to reach, try to get out of the play and go falling down. She never pushed. No, it's a personal foul. Okay. Okay, after review, the contact don't meet from criteria for a sportsmanlike foul. We have 2 free throws to the number, this girl, 23, red, and the game clock is 7.9 to remind the game. All right, thank you. Okay, after review, it's a personal foul, all right? The game clock is okay.
So it's a foul on Myra Heel. It's her 5th personal foul of the game, so she'll be out, and it'll send San Antonio to the line for 2 shots. San Antonio connects for her 16th point of the night.
Well, that makes it a 2-possession game. That's a huge make right there.
$17 points now for Trinity San Antonio. She leads her team. She's also got 6 assists, 4 rebounds. And it's Mexico ball now on the baseline. 7.9 to play here. It's a 5-point game in a game where Mexico has led for a majority of the game. And that's a turnover. That's going to be game. Puerto Rico takes this one, Puerto Rico takes this one 72-67 over Team Mexico, and they've punched their ticket entry into the 2026 World Cup pre-qualifier. They'll go on to play Colombia tomorrow. It'll be Mexico versus the Dominican Republic. As Puerto Rico pulls this late one out, led for most of the way, and then they get it done without their star player in Arela Garantas.
At game 1, Colombia took it by a large margin. And game 2, Puerto Rico also went and took it. When their star went down with 1 minute and 27 seconds, they were more poised. They finished possessions on both sides of the ball and earned a huge W for their country.
Puerto Rico was down by as many as 11 points. And they fought back and earned this one, earning their spot into that pre-qualifying tournament. A big performance by Trinity San Antonio. 17 points, 6 for 7 shooting, 6 rebounds, or excuse me, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. It should be all smiles for these women right here, as they'll go on to play Colombia tomorrow.
It's such a valiant effort when you think about they playing the last game last night. It was a tough game, it was a physical game, and there could have been a big time hangover coming into this one, but I mean, for them to come together at the end the way they did, yeah, that was awesome and a big win for the Puerto Rico.
Next up here in Santiago, Chile, it's semifinal action. See Team Canada versus Team USA coming up next, and then it'll be Argentina taking on Brazil.
Fourth quarter best plays. Buckle up. This was a wild fourth quarter. That was a beautiful skip pass right into the corner from Garantas. I know. She's heating up. Uh-oh. That was a nice finish, little Euro step in transition. It was a lot of back and forth here. That one-woman wrecking crew, 3 opportunities to score in 1 possession, and she gets it done. The San Antonio's defense to offense really sealed the deal from her team in this one. Multiple possessions. She was so tough on one end and converted on the other end, and her poise and leadership really shines through in this game.
You called her the one-woman wrecking crew, and what a wrecking crew she was tonight. A huge game from Mariana Valenzuela, ends with 22 points. But it was not enough to get past Puerto Rico, as this fourth quarter, everybody was scoring, including that woman right there, Garantas, and we're wishing her all the best.
And when you look at Team Mexico, same thing, you have to credit the way they came out in the effort. They led for 34 minutes and 58 seconds. And you don't forget games like this when you're on that end of things, because it's that humble reminder of what a 40-point game really, truly means.
And we said it going into the fourth quarter. We mentioned how good they played for 3 and how there was still 10 minutes left, and look at the outcome of this one. At the end of it, Puerto Rico wins over Mexico, 72-67 from myself, Kelsey Wright Johnson, and my partner, Amy Audibert. Thank you for watching. Make sure you download that Courtside 1891 app to see the semifinal games coming up next. First up, Canada, USA, and then, of course, the reigning champs Brazil take on Argentina. We'll see you then.